last couple of years, hasn't he?
Well, every time we see Ottawa play, he just is outstanding. Pow going deep for Stu Fraser, but he couldn't get in behind Ken Miller, who had him step for step all the way down the field. You know, you talk about Al Washington. He has 22 tackles coming into this game. Not bad, and he's not the middle linebacker. Normally, middle linebacker will lead the club in tackles, but Washington has been a big cog in that Ottawa defense. Well, there's another penalty. Holding penalty against Saskatchewan, declined by Ottawa, and that will bring up a punting situation. Paul Hickey, averaging over 46 yards a boot this season, is in punt formation for Saskatchewan. It's a good one. And this is Aldridge from his 16-yard line. He gets out over the 25 to about the 26. And that's where Ottawa will begin. Bill, what's happening down there?
Well, Gary Doolan, who is certainly one of the great defenders with this tough defensive club of the Ottawa Roughriders. Gary, what's happening out there?
Oh, well, they're throwing a lot of short passes right now. Trying to throw maybe a 5-yard pass and break a long one. But right now, we're shutting it down. Our defensive backs and linebackers coming up making the play.
Thank you, Gary.
Ottawa starts from their 26-yard line. They lead the ball game 8-3. We've got 7:05 left to play in this opening quarter. Pass goes to Chucky Davis. He gets a good block on the corner and then gets to about the 30-yard line for a pickup of 4. Stop was made by Rick Moore, number 76.
Rick Moore is an interesting story. You know, in the press conference yesterday, Reuben Barry did say that Rick Moore had not played up to his potential since coming over to Saskatchewan this year, and really said that he had to have a good game today or he was thinking of making a change.
Well, he was talking, though, Leaf, about the fact that he has played so much football, the USFL and now into the CFL, and he says, I just don't know if his legs can take all that football. That's one of the problems.
2nd and 6, Ottawa. J.C. Watts going downfield wide open as Dave Newman. He's got it. Touchdown, Dave Newman.
Ottawa's tough.
Woo! 80 yards.
His 4th touchdown reception of 1984 for number 19, Dave Newman. Boy, was he wide open.
And did J.C. Watts deliver the ball. Wow.
Glenn Suter really got fooled on this play. Newman made a cut to the inside, then broke deep. No way he's going to catch him there. What a tremendous play by Dave Newman, who's having a good season this year.
Boy, Suter must have felt naked out there, though. He saw Newman in behind him, and he's saying to himself, I hope J.C. doesn't see him.
You know, in all fairness to him, Pat, I think Newman broke the pattern, just saw the opening and said, I'm going to go for it, and if J.C. can read it, we may have a big play, and they sure got one.
Well, you want to talk about big plays? 80 yards. And the Ottawa Roughriders have jumped out in front of Saskatchewan 15-3. We'll be back in just a moment.
How to build an expensive radial tire. You build it tough. So tough it meets or exceeds national brand specifications. You build it to last with a 5...
Well, you've got all that speed from.
Well, I'll tell you what, I've always said I'm fast. I think I've been knocked the last 2 years. That one felt good.
How did it come about? They had the blitz on.
Well, they had the blitz on. We've been practicing all week. They like to use the blitz quite a bit because they use 6 defensive backs. And I think we were just lucky. We caught them just on the perfect play at the right time.
You seem to be getting better with age, Dave.
I hope you're right.
All right.
Well, thank you.
Dean Dorsey's kickoff. It is handled by Sammy Green. And Green gets to the 29-yard line, but Dan Rasovich, number 43, was down very quickly to make the stop.
I think now is when Saskatchewan has to come out here and show some cool and get some things going. They just can't, you know, this is where Pow Pow's character has to come on. He has to give them that leadership in a critical time because I think they can come back and they can move the ball they have early on.
They are going to start from their 29-yard line. Saskatchewan trailing 15-3 with 6 minutes left to play in this opening quarter. Flag is down. And the pass is caught by Stu Fraser, very nearly picked off by Ricky Barden, but good concentration by Stu Fraser, the veteran from the University of New Brunswick. Well, again, we've got another penalty against Saskatchewan.
That's killing. That's killing. because that was an excellent play. Gets them upfield a bit, and then they...
Well, they're showing a lot of motion, and I suspect that it was somebody who was in motion.
Procedure, Saskatchewan, number 5. First down repeated.
Sammy Green.
Well, it's tough. All you have to do at wide receiver is look inside and watch the ball being snapped. You never have to hear the snap count. It's really inexcusable.
Little play action. Pow fires it out. Tim Kearse was the intended receiver, but Ricky Barton was defending on the play, and Georgie was telling me yesterday that he thinks Ricky Barton is his best defensive back, and he might be the best in the Eastern Conference.
He's really playing well, right? And with that thought in mind, I thought they should be working the other side of the formation like they had some successes early on, working on Charlie Cornelius on the defensive left side. So I think he's got to come back that way right now.
It's second down, 15 yards to go. Saskatchewan back at their 24. Movement by Ottawa's right defensive end. The pass downfield for Stu Fraser. He tried to make a one-handed catch but could not do so. Defending on the play was John Lynch and also Kenny Miller.
Jocko, Reuben Berry says he would like to see Joe Pow with a little more mobility. Now, do you think by that he means that it's something he can't add, or do you think he means he'd like to see him move a little more even though he does not have great movement?
I think what he's saying is that he could just do a little half roll and set up behind his offensive tackle. That way, if you're rolling from a hash mark, you can roll even to the wide side if you a couple steps and get it out that way.
Bill, you know, I'd like to answer that too, because when they went after Joe Pow, they knew he was a drop-back quarterback. He's been that way his whole career, so sometimes to ask him to do something he's not comfortable with is difficult.
It's 2nd and 10 right now after the 5-yard penalty for offside against Ottawa. The pass complete to Sammy Green up around midfield, and he's wrapped up right away by Charles Johnson at about the 53-yard line. Pickup is 23 yards at a very critical time for the Saskatchewan Roughriders.
That's exactly what we're talking about, but I really like what Pow is doing now. He's moving the ball around, he's getting it in the inside, and he's challenging the inside defensive backs on the right, and then he's like he is right here. And Sammy makes a good catch, and you got to really come up and wrap him up, otherwise he's going to bust it for a touchdown.
Pow's pass is complete to Chris DeFrance, and DeFrance steps out at the Ottawa 50. They'll have a pickup of about 8 yards.
Here comes the big horses in it for a short yardage situation.
Well, Pat, I guess that's Chris DeFrance's first catch of the season as he's making his debut after a tremendous season last year, I guess in the doghouse of Reuben Berry earlier in the year. But now getting a chance to play an unfamiliar spot at wide receiver, usually an inside receiver.
He was a wide receiver in college, so good receivers can adjust anywhere up in this game, and he's one of them.
Craig Ellis takes the handoff and should have the first down. Rasovich and Al Washington, 43 and 17, were there to bring him down.
Jocko, he's a hard runner on those short yardage situations.
He's an aggressive guy. I really like Craig. He goes for it.
Unbelievable. He's averaging over 8 yards a carry in 1984.
Well, he's been their whole offense so far in this early season, and he's a tough runner inside, picking up those couple of yards to get that first down.
Ball is spotted at the Ottawa 47-yard line. First down, Saskatchewan. Western Roughriders trail 15-3. Sammy Green had no place to go because the moment he got the ball, he looked up, and there was Ricky Barton.
He had a halfback blitz coming that time. He just sat right in the hole, just waiting on it.
Sammy probably said, why don't you keep the ball?
Well, sometimes defensively you guess right, and in this case the safety blitz pays off as Ricky Barton grabs Sammy Green in the backfield, and under the new terminology this year, that goes as a sack.
Forget it. That's not a sack.
Well, that's the way they call it.
As a matter of fact, that's a point that the coaches are very distressed about. We'll get into it later.
Ottawa appeared to be offside. Pow looks, finally finds Ellis. And Ellis has what appears to be enough for the first down, and I suspect that Ottawa was offside. But now were they drawn off? Offside Ottawa. The play will stand.
Again, I like what Joe Pow did. He was looking around, he found the receiver, and the guy that he wanted to get it to was Craig Ellis, because Craig Ellis can make that catch and turn it up and make something big.
Spotter Bill Marsden points out that it was probably Gary Doolin offside, number 69. It's very close to being a first down. We're going to have our first measurement of the ball game, are we? Because it's close enough. Possibly.
Offside, Ottawa, number 59. Declined, third down.
Gentlemen, getting back to the sacks, the coaches alluded to some of them being unhappy at least, and that is because they have special contracts with their players that pay them so much for quarterback sacks. Now suddenly, anybody you hit behind the line of scrimmage is a sack, and they don't agree with it. Nor do I, as a matter of fact.
I don't either, Bill. I'm with you.
Pow keeps it himself. Boy, he didn't move forward very much.
He didn't have to.
No.
I don't know if he made it, though.
Rather interesting. Reuben Berry, head coach of the Roughriders, was commenting about last night's game at Vancouver and saying that Don Matthews surprised him. He's not normally the type of a coach that takes chances, but he was taking them going on third down on 3 different occasions. Reuben says, you know, maybe he's got something there. We may have to do a little bit of that ourselves today.
He may never do it again if he hasn't picked up the first down here.
That's a point.
But they did pick up the necessary yardage. So Saskatchewan's drive will continue. They have the ball at about the Ottawa 36.5-yard line. We're down to 2 minutes, 10 seconds left to play in this opening quarter. Ottawa out in front 15-3. Pow looking for Sammy Green, and it's knocked away. Good play by number 22, Charles Cornelius.
Jocko, that's the fellow you indicated they wanted to work against, but he goes up and makes a nice play over the top there to knock that ball away.
That was a great play on his part, you bet.
Pow has thrown the ball 13 times so far in this opening quarter. He's completed 8 of them for 77 yards. J.C. Watts has a couple of touchdown passes for Ottawa this afternoon.
They've had the Ottawa defense out on the field there for a while now.
On the draw, Craig Ellis is nailed back to the line of scrimmage at the 40-yard line. Ron Engelson, number 78, was in on the play. Well, that's a killer, though. 2nd and 10. You think maybe you're going to cross up the defense, but it doesn't happen. And as a result, they'll be turning the ball over to Ottawa.
This is a game, though, Pat, whereby those fresh legs of Saskatchewan having 4 days off could pay in the second half because it is very hot today at Lansdowne Park.
Good point, Bill. The 47-yard field goal attempt turns out to be a fake. And there's Craig Ellis to make the catch.
There's a couple of athletes that made it up on their own.
Yeah, because I don't think that was the call.
I wonder about that, yeah.
Told you Rube was going to do different things.
Now, there's no question that was not a fake field goal. The ball just did not get on the tee properly. And Stu Fraser, so alert as he rolls out here, spots Craig Ellis. What a great play that is. They get a first down. They keep the drive going.
That's what I say. There's the athletic savvy of a couple good guys right there.
You know, Stu Fraser's a kid that I like, though. He's always in the football game.
Jerry Keating just admired that guy. He said he always makes the big play, the crucial play. He keeps the drive going right here.
For sure, Saskatchewan with a first down at the Ottawa 23. Pow looks to the end zone. Touchdown. Oh, he dropped the ball on the way down. Sammy Green had it stripped out of him by Charles Cornelius.
Get up, Sammy.
Well, you don't get too many chances in a ball game to star, and Sammy Green would like to have that one over again because really he got the hands on it, and Charles Cornelius did not get in at the football. Made it tough for him, but I thought Sammy Green maybe was going to come up with that one.
Sammy's down in the end zone. May have twisted his leg on the way down. Well, he's a fella that saw action with the British Columbia Lions. No question about it. He can fly. He's got the good speed. He's caught the ball well here this afternoon, except he wishes, as Lee points out, that he had made that catch because it would have put the Riders right back in the ball game.
Yeah, when you get in that end zone, you really have to make those